I was born in Benton Harbor, Michigan. You know, a little small town, not too big, but a lot of colors, a lot of just this real colorful place in terms of just different people from all walks of life.
Now, still reside?
No, I don't. I don't reside. I'm actually staying in Atlanta now.
Okay.
I've been in Atlanta probably 12 years now. Yeah, about 12 years now.
So what age would you say it was when you made that move?
I was 14.
14 years
13,
old?
14 years old, yeah.
Still
I was
in-
getting into a lot of trouble, like a lot of trouble. Like I was getting locked up. I was running with the wrong crowds. And my mom was just scared. She was like, "Yo, you gotta go. Come get them." And my mom and dad, my mom and dad, they always were on really good terms. They ended on good terms. It was never like a, "Hey, I hate you type thing. My dad was like, "Hey, you can, you know, I don't want to keep going back and forth to court," because I've endured some custody stuff, some custody battles. But my dad was one of those guys. He said, "Listen, as long as you let me see him when I want to see him, he can stay with you. Whenever he get too much to handle, call me and I'll come get him." And I was, at 13, 14 years old, I was too much to handle. And she called my dad and he came and got me.
So your dad was already in Atlanta?
Yeah, he was in Atlanta already. He had been here for a minute too, yeah.
I see. So what age were you when your parents split?
I was really young. Let's see. I was probably like, I was probably too young to remember it to be, because my dad did a 5-year bid, and I was born while he was incarcerated. So I'm thinking, man, just if my memory serves me correct, probably like maybe 5 or 6, you know, when they split up.
Did he do any more incarceration after that, or that was his last bid?
Yeah, that was it for him. He got out, did his right thing, and actually, while being incarcerated, he got his master's degree. He got a bunch of stuff. My dad is very, very bright. You know, at the end of the day, of course, most black men are forced into that lifestyle, especially coming from Benton Harbor. If anybody know what Benton Harbor, is about, like, there's really nothing there, which is why we left. But after he got out, he did his thing, man. He started living his life the right way, man, and started to instill those qualities in me too.
If you don't mind me asking, what did he get locked up for?
Drugs and, guns and stuff. So it wasn't too crazy. That's why I was 5. But, that was enough for him to say, "Yo, it's not for me," And I'm one of those guys, I learn from people, man. Like, I literally learn from people. My dad say, "Look, you don't want to go to jail. This is why. A, B, C, and D." And that's all I needed to hear. I was like, "Nah, I ain't trying to go to jail."
State prison or federal prison?
I was state prison.
Now, your parents split. Mm-hmm. He gets out. Your parents split somewhere in that vicinity. But between that split and you actually moving in with him in Atlanta, about that, I don't know, 10-year gap maybe, maybe give or take. Was he still present within your life in that gap there?
Of course, yeah. And that was the thing. That was one of the things about it. They, like I said, they ended on good terms. So it was like, "Hey, whatever you need from me, whatever, like, I got you." You feel me? They split on great terms, and it was like, okay, my dad would always still come around every holiday, come around and bring Christmas toys for me and my 2 brothers. My older brother and my younger brother, both of their fathers were not in their life, so my dad played a father role for all 3 of us. He actually raised my helped raise my older brother, because he was with my mom while she, because she had got pregnant by my older brother's father. And they had broke up before she even had my brother. So my dad had stepped in, basically was being a father to him, raised him up to about, 7, 8 years old. So he played a father for all of us.
He would come and visit you guys, but were there times you would actually go spend in Atlanta before you ended up moving?
He lived in Atlanta. He only had lived in Atlanta. Let me see. When I came, I was 14 years old. I think he had been in Atlanta maybe like almost 10 years at that point. Before then, he was in Chicago, and I used to go stay. I went to go live with him for about maybe a year, maybe like a year, year and a half, in between the 10-year time frame for me moving to Atlanta. So I would definitely go back and visit him. He would come visit me. Sometimes he would take all 3 of us, me, my younger brother, my older brother, because kids start feeling left out. And that's kind of how they was with my brothers. They didn't want to be, he didn't want them to be feeling left out.
Hindsight 2020, though, even though both parents were in your life, they still separated.
Yeah.
How do you think that affected you, hindsight 2020?
It affected me because it allowed me to see how strong the black woman really is. Because for a black woman to be raising 3 boys, and we weren't just no regular boys, like we was off the chain. We was, I mean, you know, you feel me? Every night, I mean, almost every night is something going on, or Vedo got into a fight, or Vontae got into a fight, or your brother Vez got into a fight, and then Benton Harbor in South Bend, Indiana too. Like you don't know, like when you get them phone calls, especially at certain times of night, man, it's like you don't know what to think. So, you know, my mom, we had a lot of hardships too, man, and my mom, she stuck through it, all of it. She stuck through it, made sure we was straight. She made sure we had some food to eat. She made sure we had some clothes. Clothes might not be clean, but we're gonna get them clean. We're gonna stump them out of something, you know what I mean? Wash them on by foot or by hand. So she was a trooper, man, and that just really showed me how strong the black woman is, because we was a handful. We were a handful.
Now, somebody watching this, let's say they're going through a separation of their parents. Now, of course, circumstances could be different for everybody.
Right.
But do you have any words to say to somebody going through those motions?
Oh, man,
has to deal with the separation of their parents.
How to deal with it? I think, you know, you have to put yourself, you have to come to realization it's sometimes it's best for people to be apart, you know, because I'd rather, for me personally, I'd rather see my parents split and become the best of friends and become the best co-parents versus staying together for the kids and end up hating each other. When these kids get 18, I don't even want to see you no more. You can die for all I care. I don't want to see that. And I think that if you're going through something like that, man, you just have to pray about it. And just let time heals all wounds. You know, whatever the wound may be, time heals all wounds. So just pray about it to keep the faith. It's hard to see parents split up, but always keep this in the back of your mind. Maybe it was the best. Maybe that was the best for them.
You said you were hanging with the wrong crowds, getting in trouble, this, that, and the third. Do you think that separation of your parents contributed to that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because if my dad was in the picture, I wouldn't have been doing that. I wouldn't have been doing any of that. And I wouldn't say that we ran over my mom. It's just that my mom worked so much. You know, my mom would work like 2, 3 jobs, and be gone from 6 in the morning. Don't get off till, you know, midnight. You feel me? So we had freedom to do whatever.
Benton Harbor, if somebody's not familiar with Benton Harbor, but let's say they're familiar with Detroit. How far is that from, like, Detroit?
It's probably about an hour and a half, about 2 hours. Yeah, about 2 hours from Detroit.
Certain part of Benton Harbor you represented?
Everywhere, man. Like, honestly, I represent Benton Harbor. I've lived on the north side, east side, west side, south side, southeast side, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? I just represent Benton Harbor. Benton Harbor isn't that big. Like, it literally probably takes you to walk all the way across town, and this is walking. Probably take you, you know, an hour and a half, couple hours. Clean across town.
Still got family there?
Yeah, I still got family there.
How often do you visit?
Not as much as I should. I go back and visit. I try to visit once a year to visit my mom's burial site, because that's what she passed in 2013, and that was one of her dying wishes was to be buried in her hometown, which is Benton Harbor, Michigan. And
what did she pass away from, if you don't mind me asking?
She passed from lung cancer. Lung cancer.
Did they find it too late?
Yeah, I think honestly, man, I think it's some. I still think it's some shit in the game too, man, because it's like, you know, I know, because my mom had went to the hospital a few times, and you know, doctors was like, oh, you know, just dehydration, just this, because she passed out a couple times. Once she passed out, went to the hospital, everything was cool, bam, 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 bam. They said a little dehydration, drink some more water, this, that, and the third. Second time she passed out, bam, went back, stage 4 lung cancer. So my thing is this, okay. This is the second time and it's already stage 4 lung cancer. That means she had that shit already, and y'all just either, you know what I'm saying, y'all either didn't do your job right, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be, or that shit just happened rapidly. In cases it does happen very, very fast. And now, mind you, my mom was an avid cigarette smoker. Yeah, she was that. But I just feel like, man, and it wasn't a big time frame in between it either. It was like maybe like a 6-month time frame. And it went from, from nothing to stage 4 cancer. It don't really work like that. It got to go through the stages. You know what I mean? So I still think it's something in the game. But I hate to, I don't want to pour salt on those wounds again. So I don't even want to try to, start going back through that process of trying to sue somebody and go back and do that. Because, my little brother's still taking it hard right now. So I don't really want to bring that back up as, I try to keep that, just cool as possible because he's still suffering from it right now. And, that's one of the things that been taking a lot of my time up today. You know what I'm saying? Like right now is just making sure he's good, making sure he doesn't go off the Richter scale, nothing like that.
That's your youngest brother?
Yeah, my younger brother.
So when she passed, how old was he?
He was like 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening to your little brother?
He ended up having to live with my older brother. At that time, I was 20. I was 20 when she passed. Of course, I didn't have my own spot. I was living with somebody. But my older brother had his own spot and stuff like that, so he ended up living with him. But yeah, he took it we all took it really, really hard. But my younger brother, he was the baby. Like he was like housed a little bit. Like he would, even at 15 years old, 14, 15 years old, he was still sleeping in the bed. He would literally sleep in the bed with my mom. And the day she was rushed to the hospital, so unresponsive, he was actually sleeping in the bed with her. So he woke up to her unresponsive and had to call the ambulance. And I think that really put I was in Atlanta at the time, and I think that really put really put a real big toll on him. Put a big toll on all of us, but the fact that he's the youngest and he was there when it happened. I think, and that's why we keep such a close eye on him, because people, you never really get over losing somebody like, your mom. People say all the time, I feel your pain. You don't feel your pain. If you have never lost your mom, you don't feel that pain. Like, trust me, there's no pain like that.
How'd you hear about it?
My brother called me. Well, my older brother called me, and was like, hey, you got to get here. My mom was just rushed to the hospital. She's unresponsive. Woo. I was like, I actually was in the bed. And at this time, I didn't have a car, so I was broke too. I had to hustle up some money to get a megabus ticket. And I actually didn't end up leaving until like 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And I got on the bus. I think Nashville was she was in Nashville. Nashville was probably like 4 hours away. On the megabus, probably like, 5. And I literally got there 30 minutes before she passed away.
So, do you actually see her pass?
Yeah, I saw her, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's that like?
Man, numb feeling. It's real numb. I think that, it's, man, it's just a pain that you don't want to wish that on nobody. You know what I mean? They had actually said, they was like, yeah, we can keep her heart beating for, for a little longer if he want us to. We could because her brain was filling up, it was filling up with fluid and blood, and it was like, yo, we can cut, and drain it. We can basically cut her skull open and drain it. And my older brother called me and asked me if that's what I wanted to do. I was like, absolutely not. If she wants to go, she said, let her go. Don't try to save her. She literally said, don't try to save me. Just let me go.
So you literally watch her pass away?
No, she was already passed away when I was there. Of course, I held her hand, but she had already passed away 30 minutes before I got there, actually.
I see.
So now, I missed it just that much. I still beat myself up about it because before I left, she actually begged me to stay. She was like, can you just stay a few more days with me? And I left and went back to Atlanta because I was so engulfed in just music and I got to come back and record. I got some stuff I got to do. And literally like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I got that call.
Now, at that time, did they say, before you had gone back to Atlanta, before you get that call, did they say, Mom only has a few days left to live? Do they say stuff like that?
No. they kind of keep it real generic with the, hey, just, make her comfortable. Make her comfortable, make her feel, make her feel loved and stuff like that. They kept it generic, but, man, I was 19, 20 years old at the time. I knew what that meant. My younger brother didn't know what it meant. My older brother knew what it meant. I just didn't see it hitting that fast. 'Cause she's a fighter too. She's a fighter, man. But I didn't see it happening that fast. But we all knew the inevitable was going to happen.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
When somebody has stage 4 cancer of any sort, that's the last stage before somebody potentially passes away.
Yeah. It's, the turnaround, I think it's a super, super low chance of anybody surviving stage 4 lung cancer. Especially if you ain't got no money. Because, those treatments are pretty expensive.
When they diagnosed her with stage 4, did they say she's got a few months left to live? Did they say stuff like that?
They actually they did. Now that I think about it, they actually said something like maybe 4 or 5 months to live or something like that. I was actually on the show too, like when they told me that. Yeah, I was on the show The Voice, 2013, when they told me that. So I was actually matter of fact, I was on break too. I was on break from The Voice because they always send you home for a little bit in between shows and stuff like that. I was actually on break.
When she passed?
Yeah, but I was back home in Atlanta. So I had been doing that. I had been doing my thing. I was back home chilling, just resting up, getting ready to fly back to Atlanta. So she passed, and I had to go back to The Voice and finish filming.
And how did you end up placing on The Voice?
I actually auditioned in Atlanta when The Voice came through. I did Whitney Houston, I'll Always Love You. And I got a yes the first one, but people don't know. They sent me home, like the second and third rounds of auditions. They sent me home. Was like, well, you cool, we like you, but try again. And I went back home and I used it as fuel. To just like start building my fan base up even more. I started doing that, man, doing covers, and they called me back 2 months later. It was like, hey, been watching your progress. We want you on the show. I thought it was a joke at first. 'Cause I was like, y'all just sent me home like 2 months ago. I say, but if y'all serious, okay, send me the flights and the hotel confirmation. I'll come. And I was like, okay, cool. They sent it to me. I was like, man, this is real. And I went to go do, I flew right, I literally bypassed all the other auditions that everybody else had to do. And I went straight to the executive audition, which is the blind audition. And I did Justin Bieber, Boyfriend. And of course, Usher turned around.
And how far did you end up going?
I made it to the top 12. Top 12 people. I think they said like 60,000 people audition. You know what I'm saying, for the show. Like over 60,000 people audition.
And you end up top 12.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad percentage if you ask me.
Hindsight 2020, do you think you could have done better than top 12? Do you think that was...
Yeah, I think I could have. It's really this, like if anybody watched the show, it was a song selection. Like, and it just, you don't really pick your songs on there. I'm just going to keep it all the way a being with y'all. Like, you don't pick your songs on there. And I tell people all the time, man, look, if they ask you your favorite songs, put the opposite, because they're not going to give you any of your favorite songs. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just to have an upper hand on people. If you're watching this and feel like you want to audition, use that tip. But they gave me a Michael Jackson, Rock With You. And anybody know, man, on a competition show, it's certain people's songs you don't touch. And Michael Jackson is one of them. You feel what I'm saying? Whitney Houston is another. You got you can't touch those songs. So when they gave me the song, I'm gonna be honest with you. And it wasn't even that I didn't do well. It was like, damn, this is a Michael Jackson song. They just threw me a curveball. Cause my song was supposed to be Usher's Without You first. I had been practicing the song for about a week. I was like, yeah, I'm finna kill it. Literally the day of the audition, they switched my song to Rock With You. Well, the day of the show, I said audition. The day of the show, they switched it to Rock With You.
That doesn't sound fair.
It's not fair at all.
They did that on purpose?
Hey, man, you tell me. You tell me. I had been practicing Usher's Without You. I had my little dance moves down, all that. I had everything down. I was gonna get out there and kill it, man. Came back to, hey, last minute change, new song is Rock With You. I'm like, what? I knew the song a little bit, but I was like, that. So literally, I think I had like 6 hours to listen to the song and actually learn it. I'm like, man, this that bullshit. But it is what it is. Now look at me.
The thing about those type of television shows where their contests is, sometimes the person that ends up being number one does very well past that contest show.
Yeah.
And does great things beyond that.
Right.
And there's also number ones that end up flopping and you never hear from them again.
Never hear from them again.
And then there's people that don't make it number one,
Yeah.
might be top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
They end up doing
Go off and do huge things.
better than whoever
Yeah.
won. So we've seen a multitude of different examples from those type of shows.
Exactly. So, you know, man, people go do these shows. Don't feel, don't get discouraged, man. If you get voted off or don't win, man, don't get discouraged. Use that platform, because one thing about it, you're gonna gain some fans. You're gonna gain some fans. You're gonna gain some supporters. So when you get off the show, build off of that. You know what I'm saying? Put some music out ASAP. As soon as you get off the show, put music out, because people are watching.
When it came to your mother, you attended her funeral?
Yes, of course.
Was that your first funeral ever?
Nah, it wasn't my first funeral. It was by far the hardest funeral, of course. My dad, actually, and that's one thing, my dad didn't let me go to a lot of funerals when I was a kid, because he didn't want me to, endure that type of pain at such a young age. Because I think some of my cousins, some of my favorite cousins had passed. Like, I had like 2 of my cousins passed away. And my dad was like, he just didn't feel like it was a good time for me to go to the funeral and see that.
How did you cope with her death since?
Just family, God, and music. That's really the only thing that I would suggest to anybody. Just focus on the good times that y'all had, man. Don't focus on the days leading up to when she passed, because those the thing that keeps me going, man. I remember my mama, she bought me when I broke my leg. I was like 11 years old, man. I broke my leg and I couldn't go outside and play with my friends, so she brought me like a little kitten home. She brought me a cat home, and that's why I love cats. She brought me a cat home, and that cat became my best friend.
Ever had counseling? Ever had therapy for it?
No, I didn't. I think my little brother's going to need some counseling. We're going to do some family counseling, but I mean, man, I just feel like I'm different when it comes to that. A lot of people can. I'm not saying that I'm like, okay, I'm over it, but it's like, I just know my mom wouldn't be for me just, keep, moping around and, looking back on it and say, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Cause my mom, she didn't play that. Like, listen, you cry a little bit, you cry a little bit, do what you gotta do, whatever. Get over it and move forward with your life. Because you ain't getting no younger, man. And so I honestly feel like I didn't need counseling. And maybe I do. Maybe me saying I don't need counseling is me saying I need counseling. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
What do you miss the most about her?
Oh, man. Just, her touch, man. Her touch, her smile. She brighten up the room. She will cuss you clean out. And in the same sentence, ask you, are you hungry? What you want to eat? Stuff like that. That's what we miss. Because we just, as we got older, man, like, we would laugh at stuff like that. Like, back then it wasn't funny, because if she cussing you out, it's for a reason. We'd see her cussing other people out, like, oh, motherfucker, oh, sit your ass down somewhere, you, like, whatever. And then she'd be like, hey, y'all hungry? What y'all want? All right. And that's some of the things we miss, man. She was just full of life. She would, some mom definitely would, she smoke her weed. She smoking her weed, sipping her little Bacardi Peach. She loved Bacardi Peach. She would sip her little Bacardi Peach and just kick it, play her old school music, and just do her.
You have a favorite memory of her?
Her seeing me on The Voice.
She did get a chance to see you.
Yeah, she got to see me on a blind audition. Mm-hmm.
What were her thoughts?
She was there.
She was actually...
Yeah, she was there in the blind audition. Oh. Yeah, she was there. She was right there behind, backstage with my older brother. Yep, so she saw that. I think that was one of my favorite memories, because I had always wanted her to see me hit that big stage at least once. And I was like, man, please. And I think God knew what he was doing. He was like, hey, look, I'm gonna let her see you on this big stage, but I'm gonna have to take her from you, and you're gonna have to keep doing your thing. All right, and I think and I look at it like that too. I look at it like, hey, God saying, look, now you got it. You good. You got it, man. You know, so your mom is doing fine. She's up here with me. We kicking it. You know what I'm saying? We having us a good time. All we need you to do is keep working on your craft. Keep working on that great music that you're doing. I feel like those are the conversations I have with God about my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be to let me know like she good. You know?
Now, of course, you were doing music in the midst of all this stuff. But did her death, did it change the direction of your music at all?
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. I just started to do what I started to make music that made me feel good. Because I used to make music that I thought that needed to be made, like you got the club songs, the songs that I heard on the radio, bam, 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 this, that, and the third. But I started to like really get to a place where I just started making music that just touched people. And I started making music that just show my appreciation for the woman. You feel me? Like, I wouldn't necessarily say black woman. I'm talking about all races, you know what I'm saying? All ethnicities, man. Like, the woman, period, is as a strong, you know what I'm saying, human, like a person. The woman, period, is just strong to me because they endure so much pain that they mask and keep it moving. Men do as well, but I truly think that women go through a lot more pain than we go through.
Ever made a song about her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did make a song about it.
It's out?
Yeah, it's out right now. It's actually on my, on an actual album I released called 93.
What's the name of the song? If you can remember.
Yeah, what's the name of that song? You remember the name of the song? Hold on.
You make a lot of music.
I Know. It's called I Know. Trust me, I know. Yeah.
Was it emotional creating that song?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I cried. I cried making the song. Like I said, even talking about it, I used to break down, man, talking about it. But you know, I'm just like, hey, you know, my mama she'd be like, hold on, stop the camera. What you crying for, boy? You know, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. At 26, she gonna give you something to cry about. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it was definitely emotional, man. Definitely.
Did that song ever become too much to almost finish?
Oh yeah, I think it took me like 3 or 4 days, man, to finish that one song. And when it only takes me a couple hours to finish a song.
Do you? Some people, they keep raw emotions like maybe crying or tear. Did you keep those type of vocals in the recording?
I kept some little vocal cracks in there that actually came from emotion. You know, I just felt like it was genuine. You know, of course, I ain't gonna leave nothing in there that sound crazy, but I definitely left some of that in there.
Now, just to gauge a little time here, when you create that song, how many years was it after she passed?
22. It was 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. And I didn't even when she passed. It took me like 2 years to start having dreams again. I didn't even have dreams for about 2 years. Literally, no dreams at all. It was just go to sleep, wake up.
When it comes to creating a song about somebody that passed away, is there ever too soon to create a song, too late to create a song?
No, it's never. In that instance, no, I don't think. I think it's all dependent upon the person, you know, because I couldn't have done that song in 2013 when she passed. I couldn't have done that song. I just know I couldn't have done that. So I think it just depends upon the person. You can do it right then. You can wait a couple years. It just depends on you. I couldn't even bring myself to sing at the funeral. And she didn't. It wasn't one of her wishes for me to sing anyway. But man, I just know I got up there and sounded a hot mess.
How did other family members feel about the song after it was released?
Oh, they loved it. Yeah, they loved it. Of course, my younger brother loves it. My older brother loves it. My aunties, everybody was like, yo, this song. And people knew, a lot of my fans knew that it was about her, but I wrote it in a way that people that have been through similar stuff can actually relate to it.
Was there ever a music video shot for it?
No, it wasn't a music video. Actually, that album was super independent. It wasn't a big budget behind it. Shouts out to all the producers that helped on that album too, that gave me tracks and just let me use them.
What do you think she would think of your career at this point?
Oh man, she would be just blown away. I mean, my mom would probably be, because my mom used to use Facebook a lot. Like and she would get on there, she would get on Facebook, man, and just, like, hey, this what I'm doing. Just sitting back smoking some green. I'm like, man, you can't put that on Facebook. They gonna come get me. You can't tell what you smoking no weed. But she was one of those people, man. Like, she would really be that. Hey, Facebook family, go check my baby Vedo out right now. He's such and such, such and such, such and such. Every single thing. I mean, I'm talking about. She's one of those. She will put up old baby pictures, embarrassing pictures of you. That's what she would be doing. So she would be so happy with everything that I got going on right now. She would know how to handle it. She'd just be doing everything. I'd be like, Mom, please take that down. Please. No, right? That's my Facebook. So, I think she'd be good. I think she'd be super happy. I think she's happy now. And like I said, man, I be having conversations with God, and he just kind of confirms that she's excited and happy for me. Because now I'm back having dreams about her and about, just whatever.
She was a smoker. She passed away from lung cancer. How do you feel about personally smoking and
I definitely
lung cancer and things of that nature?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I don't smoke. I probably smoke a little hookah, but it's just tobacco. But honestly, man, I don't recommend smoking of any kind, to be honest with you. I don't, especially cigarettes. Weed, I've never heard of anybody, dying from lung cancer smoking weed. So, I mean, to each his own. But I don't recommend smoking of any kind personally, especially being a vocalist too. I'm a vocalist. If you're a vocalist, man, you got to really watch how you, how you move and how you do what you do, because that can really take effect on you in the long term.
Were you ever a smoker previously before her death?
Nah, never.
Okay.
I think I got caught one time. How old was, we was in the projects too, Vineyard Projects in Benton Harbor. I remember I got caught going in the ashtray and picked up a cigarette butt, and my mom walked in on me. She came around the corner. Yeah! You know how you get smacked, you try to reach the spot in the back. No, but I ain't never touched a cigarette ever in my life again. And she hit me so hard, but that thing, boy, I was crying for about 30 minutes. And I couldn't go back outside. So that really hurt my feelings.